Hello, I'm Darren Magee and welcome to my mental health information and awareness channel. Now, today's topic is going to be looking at what life in a relationship with a grandiose narcissist might be like. 8 behaviours someone in a relationship with a grandiose narcissist may experience. If you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel and please check out my other videos on mental health related topics. Now, first of all, when talking about narcissism, I'm not talking about how we can all be a little selfish from time to time. I'm talking about malignant narcissism. I'm talking about people on that spectrum. I'm talking about personality disorders. Now, narcissistic personalities can be characterised by being self-centered, selfish, having a sense of entitlement, being disagreeable and have difficulty regulating emotion. And there are different types, different shades. At the two extremes we have the grandiose, sometimes known as the overt narcissist. The other end of that spectrum we have the vulnerable or the covert. Again, those terms are interchangeable. And there's many different types in between. And sometimes there's a little bit of all, leaping from one extreme to the other, depending on the situation or whatever tactic needs to be employed. So for today's video, we're going to be looking at the grandiose narcissist. Now, the main characteristics are being resistant to criticism, arrogance, being overly self-confident, generally being very callous in nature. Now, because narcissists generally see themselves as accomplished actors, and let's be honest, sometimes they really are. They're good at hiding their real nature in public. These are the things that only the partner may experience or see, because these things are, as I say, they're hidden from the rest of the world. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to refer to the narcissist as the narcissist and the partner as the partner. Couldn't be any simpler than that. So number one, first of all, the narcissist is in control. They make all the decisions. They make whatever decisions they as a couple or as a family do. Where they go, there will always be something wrong with the partner's choice. It's too expensive, it's not nice, it's whatever, it's inadequate. And they will always do their damnedest to make sure there's something wrong with it. Whatever the partner chooses, whatever they decide, wherever they want to go, the narcissist might be ill. They might start a fight over nothing. They might even just disappear, leave them at a social event. There is no give and take. There is no negotiation. It is their way or not at all. Now, if the partner does want to do something on their own or with others, they'll generally be accused of excluding them or maybe having an affair or having something to hide. Generally, the partner will be up to no good. The narcissist may even want to control how their partner looks, their hairstyle, their clothes, jewellery, whatever. The partner must look perfect to the outside world. But even if they do look perfect to the outside world, it will never be good enough for the narcissist. There will be constant judgment and criticism, shaming them over being fat, ugly, old, skinny, whatever it is. If, however, the partner were to say something like, oh, you've got a grey hair, or maybe we could do with some exercise, we're both putting on a bit of weight, it'll help us get into shape, whatever it is, the narcissist will accuse them of being hurtful and offensive. Secondly, there is isolation. The narcissist will insist that the partner's friends and family don't like them. Now, they might not necessarily be specific about anything, or they could indeed well be very creative, something they heard, something they picked up on, whatever. But even if they don't say anything, they will show displeasure, they will go into a bad mood, they will sulk or whatever. If the partner is going out with others, even inviting people over, there will always be something wrong, there'll be something up. And if you will, it's the narcissist's way of training or conditioning their partner not to have contact with others because of the displeasure that brings up. And when it comes to the partner having friends, they will act jealously. They will interrogate and scrutinise all their partner's interactions with others. Who were you talking to? What did they say? What was it they did? What did they do? And so on and so on. Asking the same question from a moment ago, even just from a moment ago, trying to look for some kind of inconsistency to jump on. They'll accuse their partner of having affairs, cheating on them. You were 10 minutes at the shop tonight. You were only 8 minutes last night. Who were you talking to? What were you up to? Who are you seeing? What are you at? Are you having an affair? They will even go as far as demanding that their partner has no interaction at all with the opposite sex. And they will even accuse them of looking. Somebody walks in front of them and you were looking at her, you were looking at him. Constantly keeping the partner on their toes and in a state of hypervigilance. Which leads on to number 3, the affairs. The narcissist generally doesn't have any problem whatsoever having an affair, because in their mind the partner is never good enough, doesn't deserve them. They deserve better, they deserve more because they are entitled. Curiously though, if the partner were to have an affair, even if it's just a friendship, an emotional affair or whatever, not necessarily sexual, because perhaps they're lonely, they're feeling neglected, whatever, the narcissist is the wounded party there. They're wounded, they're hurt, they are the victim. The partner then is vile and wicked. Number 4, if there are children in that relationship, the children are encouraged to disrespect and disobey the partner, to treat them with the same contempt that the narcissist does. Now, the children may be rewarded for doing this, or they may learn to avoid the narcissist's wrath by complying with the abuse. The partner ends up feeling triangulated, invalidated, abused from all sides. Number 5, the partner's needs aren't met. Usually emotional needs, but other needs as well. The narcissist knows not meeting those other needs, not just emotional needs, leads to further emotional distress. And they may accuse them of being too needy, too demanding, selfish, unreasonable. They'll even point out other things that they do, magnanimous acts of kindness that they do, just to confuse. Ridiculous things like, what do you mean I don't love you? I made you your dinner. Well, okay, but they made the kids their dinner as well. They made the dogs dinner. They made dinner for guests, whatever. Other needs, things like sex, for example. Sex only happens if they want it. If the partner tries to initiate it, it's usually shut down, or even if it does happen, afterwards they're telling the partner they didn't want to. They feel they were taken advantage of or whatever, just to leave the partner feeling ashamed. There is no empathy, no compassion. And because of the self-centeredness and the lack of depth to them, they only really work on the surface level. So there's never any emotional depth to any conversations. And because of that, there's no exploration of thoughts, feelings, and there's no reasonable resolutions that are going to make things better for everybody. But again, their demands, not necessarily needs, their demands must be met at all times. Which leads me on to the next behaviour. Number 6, double standards. It's okay for them, and indeed others, if it suits their agenda, but not for the partner. For example, they demand perfect word-for-word recollection of everything the partner has ever said and ever done, but they forget the lies that they just told a moment ago. And if the partner doesn't repeat back word for word what the narcissist has just said to them, it proves that they're not listening. They will expect praise and admiration for anything at all, something as simple as being able to turn the TV over, but they will pour scorn and ridicule on any accomplishment, any skill, any quality that the partner has, even if it's something that they themselves benefit from. Number 7, the narcissist views their partner as an object, a possession. They own them. The partner is there for their benefit. Expectations are unrealistic and sometimes even bizarre, If you loved me, you'd have known I wanted steak for dinner instead of chicken because I was watching Star Wars earlier. Ridiculous things like that. And the partner has to collude with this belief. This belief that the narcissist has of themselves, this perfection, this wonderful persona they have. If they don't, they will be punished. And sometimes what happens, particularly in long-term relationships, the partner doesn't necessarily believe it, but they do collude with it because they do it for what they think, what they believe is going to be a quiet life, but they never get it. Lastly, number 8, the narcissist never sees consequences for their behaviours. It's either the partner's fault or someone else's fault. The expression I often use is wetting the bed, blaming the blanket. Even their own rage and frustration, that is always the partner's fault, which is why they never learn. So that's a brief outline of what being in a relationship with a grandiose narcissist might be like. There are other things like gaslighting, constant tantrums and so on. If you have any thoughts, any opinions on this, please use the comment box below. I like reading and responding to your comments. Please let me know if there are any other topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.